What's up guys, Woody here back with another Gwent video, and today we're bringing you part 2 of the Novigrad expansion card. I'm calling it preview because I can't review the cards until I've actually played them. Obviously I played them in PTR, but until I played them a little bit more in the current meta, or whatever the meta ends up being. But yeah, so this is part 2. There's going to be 3 parts overall. We've gone through 33 cards already. We're doing 29 today. And we'll wrap the rest up probably Wednesday, maybe Thursday, just before the expansion drops and launches. But yeah, I will quickly apologise, guys. Wow, the last video was an hour long, or 55 minutes to be precise. Yeah, I can chat. I can really chat Gwent. So apologies. Well, thank you to anybody. Even if you just watched 10 minutes of it, thank you. If you were there to the very end, then kudos to you, because that's a long video. I'm going to try and keep it. I'm going to be a bit more punchy today on some of the bronze cards, or some cards that maybe don't require as much detail talking about them. But yeah, 29 cards. I'm trying to. I don't want to give a target on it because I know people will be like, "Oh, you didn't hit the target again." Yeah, I mean, I'm wasting time right now just chatting absolute nonsense. So yeah, let's dive straight into part 2 of the card review, and we kick off with. So I've got a coffee with me because I need caffeine. We kick off with Tide Coke Ransackers. Now, Tide Coke Ransackers, 2 body, 4 provisions. I keep doing this down here, you can't see it. 2 body, 4 provisions. Deployed, damage an enemy unit by 2, death blow, gain 2 coins. If you have a horde of 5, you have 5 coins in the bank. Trigger death blow, even if the enemy unit survived. That's huge. That's huge. That's very big because that can help set up for. So you can get coins in the bank. So you can gain the profit of 2. You can get a setup for maybe something like professional, maybe even like a Regis, something that requires a card being at a certain value. You get the 2 proc of that. But then if you do get the death blow, you get the removal and you get the coins in your hand as well. So it's not the most powerful card, but it's definitely one that I can see being synergized pretty well with some decks. Next we're moving on to Fence. Fence is a free body card, costs 4 provisions, another bronze. Deploy on the ranged row and gain vitality for the duration equal to your crown count. Tribute free, so remember when you play the card you get to choose pay tribute, don't pay tribute. Boost self by your crown count instead. This could be huge. Even if this is the last card in your hand, you're not, and remember it's not boost self by crown count and spend the crowns. This is drop the card and then boost self by crown count. Let's say you've got 8 crowns in the bank. Let's say you maxed out on 9 crowns. This card all of a sudden goes to 12 points. It's pretty damn big. And you're not spending those crowns. Those crowns are staying in the bank. This card can come out for some good value. It can get a lot of tempo on the board. Especially, this would be great if they pass and you need to win the round and you want to throw a card out. You get the carryover with the crowns. You throw this card out. And it buffs. Let's say you got 7 in your bank. Play this, pay the tribute of 3, so you go down to 4 in the bank. You win the round, and you get a carryover of 2. That's not bad. That's not a bad play. So Fence is definitely a card I can see getting some serious play in some Novigrad decks. This one is Hvitul and Aledia. I've probably said that completely wrong. Hvitul and Aledia. Now Hvitul and Aledia is a 5 body. 9 provisions. You play it, you get a profit of 1. 1 crown goes straight to your bank. Order ability, damage a unit by 1. You horde of 6, then damage it by 2 instead. This has a cooldown of 1, so if you constantly have over 6 coins in your bank, this thing is going off. It's a little bit like an Imrith or a Sabbath for monsters, but in terms of you have dominance, it damages by 2 every turn. If you don't have dominance, then it's damaging just by 1. If you have the horde, it's damaging by 2. If you don't have the horde, it's damaging by 1. So I think this Imki, the one that playing the ranged row, she gives you 2 crowns every turn. Something like her on the board, you can keep spending crowns, but you can also get the crowns back to then keep doing 2 damage with this. So this, in the right engine deck, the right Novigrad engine deck, this card can get a lot of value. Up next, we have got. Sorry, I have a hair in my mouth. Up next, we have got Bincy Blumberholt. Oh, what a name, Bincy Blumberholt. So, gold card. It's purple, so it's an epic card. 4 body, 10 provisions. You play her on the ranged row. Whenever you gain crowns, boost stealth by 1 for each crown gained. That's not, remember, that is not, oh, I've gained 3 crowns this turn, boost stealth by 1 every time you gain crowns. Each crown you gain, I've gained 3 crowns this turn. Oh, now look, I've now got 3, I'm now at 7. Next turn I gain another 3 crowns, I'm now at 10. This immunity on this card could get way out of hand. It's almost like the guy that comes out with a shield and boosts stealth by 2 every time there's a shield on him. This is not far off that. Like, there are so many ways of earning crowns in your deck. Even imagine you have an Imke on the back row, on the range row. She's giving you 2 crowns every turn. So that's a pop of 2 every turn. Every time you play a card with profit, this card, this Bincy Blumberholt, is also getting value. She's buffing off the profit and she's buffing off Imke on the ranged row. Yeah, if immunity goes on this thing, let's just hope they're not running Scorch, because could run away with it. Hopefully this is a better pace, kind of keeping through it, guys. The flying Redanian. Sorry, the flying Redanian. Get it out. The flying Redanian. There we go. Now this card, I looked at it and I was like, okay, it's one of the cards that when I was in PTR, I didn't play the game enough, but I was like, okay, this card is going to be exploited the hell out of. I still, in my head, can't work out how I'm going to make it work. But someone out there who's a better deck builder than me will exploit the hell out of this card. It's a 4 body, it's 10 provisions. If you have a horde of 9, so you've got 9 in the bank, on turn end, summon this unit from your deck or graveyard to a random allied row. So I know the basic way it works. As soon as you get to 9 coins, this card comes out. It's a roach. It's another roach. Apart from it's a 1 extra body to a roach. Then you think Asaya is a Nilfgaard card, so actually this won't work with Asaya, but I'm sure there's going to be a way, I can't get my head around at the moment, where there's going to be, people are going to be exploiting that, then it's going to be coming out from the graveyard, and it's just going to keep coming. If it's going to get to 9, it's going to keep coming. Get to 9, it's going to keep coming. This card is going to be, not auto-include, but this card is going to be in a lot of decks at the beginning. It's good thinning, but then it's also good constantly bringing tempo back by getting to 9 every time. Every time you hit 9 and this is in your graveyard, ka-ching, out it comes. Obviously, let's just banish it. That's what people start doing. They just start banishing the Flying Redanian. Up next, Novigrad Justice. Now, this is a Syndicate / Scoia'tael card. This can run in both of them, okay? Play a bronze unit from your deck. If it's a dwarf, summon its copy to the same row. Yep. That's pretty bonkers. So if you're wondering, okay, how can this work? Now, there were a couple of examples I used in PTR when we played the guy, I can't remember the guy, Brawler. We played the Brawler, who's a 4 for 4, 4 body, 4 provisions, but he has Intimidate. So I used this to play him from the deck, summon another one, then every time I play a crime card, I had 2 procs on the board off of just filling out the deck with 1 card using Novigrad Justice. So that helped quite a lot. That was one example of it. You could play the dwarfs that boost, and then you could pop I don't know, lead ability on them, pop something onto them to make that they're boosted, so when they start ticking over. This card is I mean, it's 11 provisions, so it's expensive. It's not going to be auto include in Scoia'tael and Syndicate. However, it's definitely going to get some play, and people are definitely gonna work out. You know, there's gonna be a dirty combo somewhere that people are going to use to get this out. Also, it's going to help for the Great Oak, isn't it? If you play this, you're going to get a bronze on a row. You're going to play another one. You're going to summon another one, and you're going to be row stacking for Great Oak. Okay, this card, I loved this card in PTR. This card is so good. So it's Sir Skewertooth. Sir Skewertooth is a 5 body and 8 provisions. Sir Skewertooth comes out with an Intimidate of 2, meaning when you play a crime card, this thing buffs by 2 every single turn. Tribute, if you pay 4, so when you play the card, you have pay tribute, don't pay tribute, you pay the 4 tribute, it gains immunity. This thing's bonkers. You pay the tribute, you then play 2 crime cards, it's already back at plus value on its provision cost. It can really start tempoing up. In a crime deck that I built into PTR, this was like a card that really helped me push rounds. Yes, acceptable for Scorch, acceptable to being removed or with any card that destroys a highest placed unit or highest unit card. But 90% of the time with the immunity, I was getting this card up to 13s, 15s sometimes. It was getting bonkers. So yeah, it's a great card to include in a crime deck. Now, here we go. Cleaver's Muscle, 5 for 5, but it comes out with a shield. This could be used, so this is Syndicate and Scoia'tael. This could be used on the guy that we saw a minute ago, when play a dwarf from your deck and summon another one. So all of a sudden, this one's got 2 dwarfs in the deck. Now we start thinking about actually having dwarf decks where we start buffing units by the amount of dwarfs we control, or damaging units by the amount of dwarfs we control. All of a sudden, having these guys out with shields, having 5 bodies on the board. I mean, a 5 body isn't easy to remove. With a shield against something like a crate, you're instantly kind of playing against the Bloodthirst. So yeah, it's not the most powerful card in Syndicate. However, the fact there's a Syndicate / Scoia'tael crossover card, I definitely see it getting more play in the Scoia'tael, and maybe just maybe dwarfs as an archetype, like a solid dwarf deck. Maybe they become a thing in the not so distant future of Gwent. I'd like to see that. That'd be cool, just having a dwarf deck that actually is competitive. Okay. Swindle. I feel like this is a good pace. I feel like we're getting this nice now. Swindle. Profit from a random amount between 4 and 6. Simple as that. Remember though, this is a crime card, meaning that I'd always play this card knowing that I'm going to get minimum of 4. So I would never play it thinking, damn, I need 6. Obviously, there might be a time when I have my hands forced and I have to play it, but play it knowing I get a minimum of 4. If I've got some Intimidate units on the board, that's going to buff them as well. It's 4 provisions. The only way I'd see this going in decks is if it is a crime deck. If you're looking at playing crime cards, it's a cheap crime card. It's getting you, getting you profit. That's the only way. I don't think this becomes a complete. We must be playing Swindle every single time we're playing Novigrad decks. I think there are better 4-cost crime cards than this. To be honest. Up next we have Concursed. Concursed Blacksmith. So Concursed Blacksmith, 4 body, 5 provisions, playing profit 1, paying 1 fee, boost an allied unit by 1. This could be huge again against something like Crate. Crack. Crack obviously pings every other turn. You got 9 coins in the bank, and they're looking to set up a big last play with Crack. They're looking to get Bloodthirst off. You play this guy, you just start buffing everything by 1. You can buff 9 times with a full bank, and yeah, that's he's giving you 1 profit as well. So you could almost pretty much get Bloodthirst done, cleared, completely gone. Crack's gonna struggle against some of these Novigrad cards, and it's good. So yeah, I think this card gets quite a lot of play. I mean, it's 4 body, so it could get removed. But I think it gets play. I'm definitely going to be playing it because I just like playing something that counters Crack. It's just nice. Okay. Right through this. I love the artwork on this card. It just looks cool, doesn't it? So Furco the Sculptor is the name of the card. It's 2 body. It's 9 provisions. So you're going to think, well, I need to get 7 value off this to do anything. Deploy on the melee row, play a crime card from your deck. So you can start getting some combos off this. You can play a crime card that then allows you to play another crime card, and you can start popping some provisions. Yeah, it's in crime decks again. It's going to be important. It's going to add consistency to crime decks. It's going to allow you to find crime cards that you want to play. It's going to allow you to thin your deck more by playing those crime cards. So it's going to be, again, another one, crime as an archetype in terms of you're running Intimidate and you're looking at kind of getting crime cards out and you're getting buffs. A little bit like a Simulate decks now, like Spawn and Simulate decks. Like, you're going to be kind of doing some kind of swarm crime deck. I know Baby Joseph, another Twitch streamer, played one against me in PTR. Oh my god, it was disgusting. It got so out of hand, it was bonkers. Yeah, this is a card that he'll definitely playing to play any crime deck he wants from his deck. So yeah, definitely in crime archetype or Intimidate / crime archetype. Furco the Sculptor definitely gets value. Okay, the Caesar Bilzen. Caesar Bilzen. 4 body, 8 provisions, deploy ability. Trigger the profit abilities of adjacent units. Fee of 3. Boost an allied unit by 2. Now remember, it's fee, so you can do it as many times as you want. But just think about that. Trigger the profit abilities of adjacent units. Some units give us like 4 profits. So you pop this guy down. Okay, you could be popping 4 and let's say 3. 7 straight into the bank. You can almost be maxing your bank out straight away with this guy. And then throwing out 2 fees to then boost units by 2. That's instantly pretty much getting his value, like on deploy. Like there's no setup needed. Well, there is some setup needed because you need to make sure you have the profit guys that are adjacent to Caesar Bilzen. But on the whole, it's I think it's going to be a pretty solid card. I think this is going to definitely get value in. This will be one if your deck is struggling to make crowns, if your deck is struggling to get the crowns in the bank, if your deck is struggling to be consistent and you can't pay fees, this guy's gonna be great because as a finisher you can pop this guy down, you maybe boost up to a full 9 crowns, and then maybe you got abilities on the board that you can end up getting another 6 to 10 value off those 9 crowns. So yeah, this guy could be he's very versatile. He could fit in a lot of Novigrad decks. Swarm, Crime, Intimidate. He could fit in a few of the archetypes that are going to be coming about with Novigrad. Okay, Halfling Safecracker. Sorry. A 3 body, 5 provisions, profit 1. Deploy, boost self by 1 for each crime in your hand. This guy's going to be kind of for 5 provisions. You're playing a Crime Intimidate deck. He's going to be a go-to. He's going to be in your hand, like in your deck straight away. You play him first play. He's coming out for, let's see, even if you have 4 crime cards in your hand, he's coming out at a 7. It's pretty big. Like he's boosted, so he's coming out at 7. So he's got a boost of 4. Again, against stuff like Crack, against Scorytail, they're going to struggle to get the Bloodthirst. He's going to help with dominance against monsters, like early dominance against monsters. Yeah, he's going to be a pretty good card to throw out there early on, especially in a Crime Intimidate deck. Maybe you can get more value. Maybe you get 5 or 6 crime cards in your hand. Maybe this guy's boosting to an 8 or a 9, which is pretty bonkers for a 5. Yeah, I think this card gets a lot of play in the Crime Intimidate archetype. Up next, Harold Gord. I like this guy. He pretty much gets base value, if I'm being honest. I didn't manage to get anything more than base value of him, but it was still quite a nice way to finish the game. Deploy, boost self by 0, increase the boost by 1 for every special card you played this game. Now, I'm pretty sure in PTR this was boost up by 1 for each crime card you played, so maybe that's only why I got to 7. But it is every special card now. Now, let's think. You can only have a maximum of 12 non-unit cards in your deck. So let's say you're never going to play all of them. Let's say you've played 8, maybe. Let's say 8. You've played 8 special cards throughout the course of the game. This guy can come out for a 10 body at the end, which is, I mean, it's not bad. Like coming out for a 10 points is not a bad thing at all. But then again, you are very susceptible. You can get reset with Spores. You can get reset with Peter. You can get removed with Geralt. You maybe get removed with Professional if you pop to the right number. I mean, I don't think this becomes a. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a card, isn't it? If we have another Season of the Magic, then this card gets played because it boosts by 20, 25 at the end of that in seasonal mode. I don't think in competitive play, I don't think Harold Gord. I think he sees play. I don't think he is a must-have card in your deck, even if you're running a strict Crime Intimidate deck. I think he's coming out maybe at a 9. He's, like I said though, but he's very easy to be reset. He's very easy to be cleared as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he kicks off when expansion launches. But I don't think we see tons of Harold Gord. Shakedown. Shakedown is a crime card. Shakedown, crime card, profit 3, boost an ally by 3 for 5 provisions. So you're looking at roughly, I'm working profits out at 1.5 profit to a provision. So we're looking at that. We're getting bang on 5 provisions back. But obviously, if that profit allows you to pop an ability that clears an engine, you can't look, you can't be too black and white in how you read provisions to card value. You have to be like, well, actually playing this, if the boost in the allies keeps it on the board, but then that profit allows me to play to damage an enemy by 2, but then clears an engine. That's a huge play. Maybe that's worth 15 points in the long run, not just the 5 provisions or the 5 value it's given me for face value. So Shakedown is, again, you're going to see it in crime decks. Why wouldn't you see it in crime decks? It's giving you profit and it's boosting an ally, which could keep an engine on the board. Now, Tunnel Drill. This card is, I would say, one of the most auto-include cards in the Novigrad expansion for the Novigrad for Syndicate deck. So Profit 1, it's a 5 body. It only costs 6 provision, guys. Okay, this card is the same value as, it's less value than False Siri. It's the same value as Nephril. It gives you 1 profit when you play it, but fee of 3 on the Melee Road, destroy an artifact. Okay, remember this is fee, so you can do this as many times as you want. That is literally, unless this card gets locked, goodbye trap decks. All those traps that you're playing round 3, I'm just going to remove them. I'm going to remove this, I'm going to remove this, I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to remove this. Like, this card has to be auto-in. Even if you're removing 1, for the fact that it's 6 provision, 5 body, if you just remove 1 artifact with this card, you're getting your value back. I'd even argue without that, you're still not far off getting your value with the profit of 1 and getting a 5 body on the card on the deck, on the board. Yeah, I think this goes into pretty much every Novigrad deck day 1. Yeah, it's a bonkers card. It's absolutely bonkers. It's one I definitely think people will be playing, and it's only 200 scrap to craft because it's an epic, guys, which is always nice. These next 2 cards, I hope they're next 2 cards because I hope the pairing are next to each other. I played them a lot in PTR. Very good cards. So this is Horst Borsodi. Horst Borsodi is a 4 body, 7 provisions. Profit of 2 when you play them. If Edward Borsodi is in your graveyard, then if Ewald Borsodi is in your graveyard, increase this card's initial profit by 2. Okay, so it means it's coming out for 4 profit. You're getting 4 profit if Edward Borsodi is in your graveyard, or Ewald Borsodi is in your graveyard. And then fee of 2 on the ranged road, boost an ally by 2. So you play this card, if Ewald Borsodi is in your graveyard, then instantly you can get 2 pops off this. You can boost 2 cards by 2. So you're already getting your 8 value. Bang, straight off the bat. If he stays on the board, and then next round you can play it again, you just got 6 value off this. You got 10 value off this card, and then 12, and maybe more and more and more. Yeah, I think it's a great card. I think it's gonna get a lot of play early on. I'm not sure how long they will work as a pairing, but people like playing paired cards in Gwent. People like the Uni and Cairo. It'll be interesting to see. What will be most interesting is what works out the better card in terms of this one or Ewald Borsodi, because Ewald Borsodi does exactly the same, apart from on the Melee row, it damages an enemy unit by 2 for a fee of 2. So do you want to, maybe you play this round 1, you only get the 2 profit, but you can still pay the fee, meaning round 3 you get the 4 profit of Ewald Borsodi, but you also then get to start damaging cards by 2 every turn, or every time you have crowns in the bank. And he's not next. That sucks, doesn't it? Well, when we get to him, I'll show you him. This is Kurt. Kurt is... again, Kurt is bonkers. I think Kurt's going to be... not necessarily auto-include, but Kurt is going to be in a lot of Novigrad decks. Now, Kurt is a 4 body, 8 provisions. He has the Intimidate, a mechanic, meaning every time you play a crime card, he will buff by 1. Deploy him on the Melee row, you can lock an enemy. You can lock a unit. Deploy him on the range row, you can purify a unit, meaning you can unlock one of your own units. This is very versatile. The fact he has the Intimidate perk on him as well, if you're even running 1 or 2 crime cards in your deck, sorry, 2 or 3 crime cards in your deck, this guy's your go-to for lock outside of Nilfgaard, because he's going to get value, isn't he? He's going to be popping to a 6. Plus he's locking or unlocking one of your units. Yeah, I definitely think Kirk gets a lot of play early doors. I'm super hyped to play this card. I think it's in PTR he was in so many decks, and I think he definitely come Friday when Novigrad drops, I think he's in so many decks again. Now, Oxenfurt Naturalist. Now we know Oxenfurt from current Gwent is pop him anywhere on the board and give an allied unit vitality for 2 turns. This one here is a free body, 5 provisions, profit 2, fee 1, give an allied unit vitality for 1 turn. It's simple as that. You're getting profit, and it's quite nice. You can, again, you could argue the whole playing against a crack deck and Bloodthirst, you could pop lots of vitality around everywhere. And yeah, I mean, you can stack it on one person. If you've got an engine, you could stack. Let's say I'm trying to think what you could play. I don't know. There's a 4 cost on the board. You want to keep on the board. Maybe you're going to stack 4, pay 4 fee of 4 to put 4 vitality on them over 4 turns. So yeah, that ticks over time. It's a nice card. I think it gets some play. Again, I think it's going to take a little while for the dust to settle after Novigrad and find out what bronzes are really going to be sinking in the meta. But it's definitely one I'm going to be looking forward to playing and seeing how I can kind of, if there's any way of exploiting that multi-vitality spread in a deck. But yeah, definitely one I'm looking forward to. Oxenfurt Naturalist. Okay, so Vivaldi Bank. Now, Vivaldi Bank is 9 provisions. It's a crime card. When you play it, you get profit of 1. Now, bear with me while I read this one out, because I played this a couple of times in the PTR, and it's a bit... What? Profit 1. Now, look at the top card from your deck, plus an additional card for every crown you possess. Meaning, if you've got 9 crowns, you look at an additional 9 cards. So you're looking at 10 cards overall. Play the top card for free, or play another card for a crown cost equal to its distance from the top. Shuffle the remaining cards back into your deck. So, let me explain that. You look at 10 cards, they'll come up and go, dun, so they go like, duh, 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 duh. Let's say this is the top one over here. You choose this one here, it's free. Okay, you can play this card for free. It's the top card from your deck. You choose the one next to it, you're paying 1 crown. Next to it, you're playing 2 crowns because it's 2 distance from the front here. Play this one, you're playing 3 crowns. It's 3 distance from the front. This one, 4 crowns, 5 crowns, 6 crowns, 7. Hope you're starting to understand it. So, although you might be spending a lot of crowns, this is great for consistency. It's a crime card. So if you've got Intimidate on the board already, all of a sudden you've got these. They're like, let's say you've got 2 Intimidators on the board. They've popped for 1 each already. You're running a shoot deck for some reason with Novigrad, and you have found shoot now because of this card. You can play shoot. You can get your big combo off. This adds so much consistency to your deck. The fact that it's crime as well is nice. So yeah, I like the idea. I like the fact it's got some more in-depth mechanics. I like the way they're going. Look, you can get a lot of consistency with this card, but it's going to cost you crowns. And I like the way that Novigrad are kind of turning out to be very much a money management faction. Like, how you manage your profit is going to be a key aspect to whether you're winning or losing games. And like Vivaldi Bank is a perfect example of that. Okay, on next, here he is. Ewald Basordi, so exactly the same as the other one we said. But so if Horse Basordi is in your graveyard, you get 4 profit when you drop him, but play him on a melee road, damage an enemy unit by 2. Like I said, you're going to have to choose which one you put out in round 1 to then hope you draw into round 3. That's probably what you're going to be, the biggest thing you're going to be doing with these 2 cards. Next, Graydon. Graydon is a free body and a 9 provision. So deploy him on the melee row. Destroy an enemy with a bounty. Now, we spoke about bounties before. Remember, you can put bounties on enemies. You kill an enemy with a bounty. You then get their base value. So let's say they were a 5 cost enemy, like 5 power enemy. You get 5 coins for destroying them. Tribute 5, boost self by that unit's base power. Yes. So, let's say you've got a bounty on... let's go all out. Let's go, you've got a bounty on Spear Tip. 12, big boy, 12-point Spear Tip. You play this, you pay, remember, pay tribute, don't pay tribute. You pay the 5 crowns for the tribute. You play on Malayo, you destroy the Spear Tip for 12. This guy then boosts to 15 because he's boosted by his base power. Plus, you max your bank back out. That's mental. That is absolutely bonkers. Obviously, that's very niche, the fact that I've used Spear Tip as an example, but that gives you an idea of how Graydon can go off. As I said before, I want to run a bounty hunting deck. That's the first deck I want to build in Novigrad. Is I want to play around with bounty hunters. I want to see if I can make bounty hunters work. This is definitely a card I will instantly be including. And if you're running any bounty hunters, I think Graydon has to be an auto include for that very much that reason. Let's rock on. We're doing good. I feel like we're doing good. Damage 3 adjacent enemy units by 2. Death blow. For every enemy unit destroyed, spawn a Fire Swarm Zealot on the opposite row. So this guy, or this crime card, again, crime card, is 9 provisions. So you're only damaging by 2. So this will be very good in mirror matchups against Fire's Worn Swarm decks because they come out at 2 cost. It's going to be hard to set up, but if you could set this card up, if you get full value off it, if you do 6 damage and you spawn 3 Firesworn Zealots over on your side, that's 12. But then imagine you've got those cards that we spoke about in last video that buff self by 1 for every time you spawn a Fireswarm Zealot, or every time you spawn a card, boost it by 1. I mean, if you're setting up well and you're getting this card off, you're getting 15, 16 value off it, which is absolutely nuts. I think more consistently, you're probably looking at maybe you're only clearing 1, so you're only spawning 1, but 6 damage to spawn and a buff, you're getting your baseline value. I think it definitely gets put into Swarm decks. I don't see where else it gets played, to be honest. I think the Swarm archetype is where Domination fits in. I don't think it goes anywhere else, if I'm, again, being completely honest. Next up, we have got Excommunication. Excommunication is another crime card. 6 provisions. Banish an allied unit, then play the top card from your deck. So, it's not the end of the world. Let's say you've got a 1 cost card on your... at the bottom of your, like, on your board. It's not a roach. You don't care about being banished. You play this guy, you banish that card, and then maybe you get lucky. 6 provisions, you pull. I mean, most cards, even bronzes mid round 3 are coming out, and most bronzes you're still getting 5 value off. So maybe you're getting more value off it. Maybe there's a way of setting up for it. I think once people find the way of setting up in Novigrad to get cards to the top of your deck, or even see what cards are in your deck still, then I think this card gets more play. Maybe it gets play in a crime deck because it is a crime card. Maybe they've got 4 intimidates on the board. It's popping each intimidate, so it's already getting value back on its 6 provisions. Maybe you're getting rid of a card that's 1, maybe 2 power. Maybe you get lucky and you pull a big card out and it wins you the game. So there is a big element of RNG with Excommunication, but as a crime card, I think it definitely sees play in some crime/intimidate decks. Nathaniel Pastodi is 5 body, 7 provisions. Whenever this unit receives a boost, give bleeding to a random enemy unit for 2 turns. I love the sound of this card. I genuinely love the sound of this card. This card sounds so good. I just like it as a mechanic. You think about if we go back to Horst Basodi, was that his name? Yeah, Horst Basodi. Then he was the guy that you play him on the ranged row, boost the unit by 2 with fee. You could all of a sudden throw this guy up to, like, second from last play, throw this guy up to, I don't know, put 3 boosts on him, so he goes to an 11 points. Yes, he could be removed from Geralt, but he's 11 points. All of a sudden, over the next 2 turns, they've got 3 units that have got 2 bleeding, and they're ticking down over time. They're losing 6 points over 2 turns, no matter what they do. Like, yeah, that could be really big. I definitely want to play around with this guy. I definitely want to see if I can get him to work. It's a card that's very much got me interested. I like the whole fact that you can kind of almost like Trident Infantry, but for Novigrad. You're boosting this guy rather than pinging them. You're getting them bleeding for 2 turns. So yeah, I like the idea of that, and I want to see how it plays out in the actual when the expansion drops. And up next we have got Procession of Penance. So this is a 10 body card, huge 10 body card. Only for 6 provisions. Are you mental? But let's read its deployability. Damage self by 6. Reduce damage by 1 for every Fireswarm Zealot you control. So, in a Swarm deck, guys, this card, it could be bonkers. It could just be a flat out 10 point bang. There you go. How'd you like that, mate? Have that. 10 points right there. Thank you very much. You only need to control 6 Firesworn Zealots to get him out at base 10 value. Like, that's pretty nuts. That's not many. That might sound like, wait, that's loads. I need to control all those Fireswarm Zealots. Trust me, that is not many. There are ones, remember okay, last play. Let's go on to last play. You've got last say round 3 with a Swarm deck. You have the guy that pay 2, spawn a Fireswarm Zealot. You have 3 on the background at the moment. You smash that out to then spawn them. They're all boosting because you've got the Sacred Flame on the board, and they're boosting every spawned unit by 1. So that's come out for 9 points. Now you've got your 6 on the board. You're dropping this guy. He's coming out for 10 points. All of a sudden, that's 19 points. Wait, you still have 2 coins, 2 crowns left in the bank. You pop another one. That's come out free. You got 22 point play on your last play on a Swarm archetype deck. Let's just hope that you're not one before last save and they play a Gimpy, because there will be tears. There will be tears. Yeah, I think this guy only gets played in Swarm decks, simple as that. But I think in Swarm decks, if they're not running Gimpy, or they are not running Lacerate, or maybe they've struggled to stop the Swarm going off, then this guy gets bonkers value. Comes out, he gets 4 extra value based on his provision cost. And then now our last card. I've definitely made this quicker. Slander. Slander is our last card we're looking at today, guys. This is a crime card. So you play it, you profit by 3, and you place a bounty on an enemy unit. Now, it's only 4 provisions. Again, I've said I want to play around with bounty hunters. I want to play around with bounty decks. I think it'll be a lot of fun to play around with bounty decks. But you're profiting for 3. If we go back a little way now, so you play that card, you profit for 3, and you put a bounty on someone's head. We go back to this guy here. All of a sudden, this guy here, we're setting up. We've got 3 in the bank. Maybe we've got MK ticking over. We've got 5, so we can play this guy next. We can destroy, we can restore our bank, and we can, yeah. So we're setting up for Graydon to go off for a big play. But that's it, guys. That is all the cards we're going to look at today. Like I said, I wanted today to be quicker. I feel like it's been a lot quicker. What is it? I'll tell you what, I've smashed through this. Absolutely smashed through it. We do have one more part to go. The cards are slightly delayed being shared on Facebook, which is where we're looking at them. And yeah, so I think all cards will be revealed by Wednesday, I'm pretty sure. So Thursday is when we'll have our last preview up, ready to rock, ready to go. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. As always, if you did like the video, then give it a little like. And if you want to keep up to date with more Gwent stuff, including these kind of preview videos when new expansions drop. I do new to Gwent series, which I know I'm like a week behind on, guys. It's just been very, very busy, like very busy. But we've got some exciting new to Gwent content coming up, and also deck videos. The reason I haven't posted any new deck videos recently is basically because every good deck in current meta, current Gwent has been shared everywhere. So I'm not going to just copy and paste the deck. Once Novigrad drops, there'll be so much more opportunity for me to share so many more decks for you guys. And yeah, so if you just help support me, by subscribing or liking these videos, because it means a lot, and I look forward to creating more Gwent content for you guys. And finally, I do stream every Monday, Wednesday and Sunday. So if you want to jump over on twitch.tv/whatsupwoody, the link is in the description below. So if you want to check that out, by all means, please do so. And maybe I'll see you over there. If you do come over there, just say hi and we chat away. We listen to some 80s banging music and we just have fun, guys. It's the most important thing. We just have fun. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for watching the video. And until next time, have a great day, morning, evening, whatever it is, where you are. Goodbye.